Welcome to another parent-teacher video lesson from the earlygiftedmanual.com, a free website for homeschooled children 3 to 7 years old and their parents that promotes and develops giftedness at an early age. I am Gary Blank, the creator of that site, and your host and facilitator for this video and all of the videos in my educational program. As the video lessons are designed to work in conjunction with the program on my website, I ask you to, at some point, click on the URL link in the description box below, and this action will take you to the earlygiftedmanual.com. By doing that, you will be able to put this lesson and all of the video lessons here on my channel in the proper context of the total program that I am presenting to you and your child. And welcome to Lesson 37, the mystery box and pocket problems. And here's what you'll need for this lesson. The mystery box, and we used this in an earlier lesson, so perhaps you'll remember this. Mine is very exotic, as you can see. It's very satiny and spangly, and kids like that. But it could just be a plain, simple box, and as you can see, the lid stays attached on mine. So the mystery box, 10 counters, and it's nice to mix up the counters instead of using the same counter over and over again. As you can see in this lesson, I'm using these really, let me get you a close-up here, these really cool little fireman figurines. I have 10 of them down there in 2 different colors. So I'll use those for counters. And you will also need 10 markers. You could substitute perhaps pencils for these, or even craft sticks, but markers seem to work the best. And we'll get to that later in the lesson. All right, so let's start out with the mystery box here. And what we're going to do is something similar to what we did the last time with the mystery box, where we were putting things in and kids were counting. So let's get it open right now. And it's very important that your child is sitting far enough away where he or she can't see into the box, because you don't want her to be able to look in the box, because actually you will be asking her questions about how many firemen are in the box. So make sure that she's sitting far enough away where she can't look down in. And also, leaving the counters on the table could be a great distraction also, because what you're really trying to do is isolate the concept of what's going in and out of the mystery box, and this would complicate the issue. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these 10 firemen, put it in this yogurt container, which is deep enough where your child also can't look into that, and I'm going to keep it close to the vest here, as they say, off the camera here if possible. So let's begin. And you can start by the same way we did the first time we used the mystery box, by putting firemen in one at a time, and do it very clearly and distinctly, so hopefully your child can count along as you put them in. So let's do this. And you can stop right there. This is just an example. And ask your child, well, how many firemen are in the mystery box? And if he was doing a good job of counting to himself silently, he would say 5. And you could say, okay, let's put a few more in. So here we go. And now you would say, how many firemen are now in the mystery box? And hopefully he will say, well, there's 8. And he may have arrived at that conclusion in two different ways. He may have counted on from 5 as you put the next 3 in, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or perhaps he or she is really feeling confident with their addition now and merely added 3 to 5 and came up with 8. So let's keep going. There's 8 in there now. We'll keep tabs of things. And finally you can say, well, how many are in there now? And hopefully she will say 10. So that's the addition part of the mystery box. And now we could take some away. So now the task will be counting back or subtracting. And let me show you what I mean. So very distinctly, one at a time. And now you could say, well, how many firemen are in the mystery box? And hopefully she will say 7 because she counted back 10 or 9, 8, 7 to 7. She counted back from 10. Or perhaps she has reached the point where she can subtract those two numbers. 10 minus 3 equals 7. Of course, that's what you're hoping for here. But either way is acceptable for now. So let's keep it straight. What we have in the box here, 7. I'm going to take a few more out. Okay, and now you can ask her, well, how many are in the mystery box now? And hopefully she'll say 3, and she may have done that by counting back or subtracting. 7 minus 4, I think. Sometimes I have trouble keeping it straight. 7 minus 4. And finally, you can do this. And you could say, well, how many firemen are in the mystery box now? And hopefully he will know by doing all these this counting and computations in his head that in fact there are no more firemen in the mystery box. So that's a great way to use the mystery box to teach your child not just counting on and counting back, but using his memory. And of course, what you're really looking for is now he's becoming very familiar with addition and subtraction, and perhaps he could do this exercise by using those, addition and subtraction. And if this turns out to be not much of a challenge, I'm going to put this down here. If this turns out to be not too much of a challenge for your child, well, put more firemen into your bank or whatever you want to call it here. Maybe up to 20, and work with some bigger numbers and see if he or she can handle those. So that's the mystery box, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to even complicate it a little bit more. Now, we're when we do this, it's called pocket problems. We'll be putting things in 2 places, not just one mystery box, but 2 pockets. Okay, so let's do some pocket problems. And at this point, you're looking down at my work table and saying to yourself, oh my gosh, what's Gary doing now? I thought we were doing math. Well, we're doing pocket problems, and when I first started video recording this, I tried to do it as a full figure with the camera on me, and I couldn't get the detail I wanted, so then I tried to do a close-up of just my lower torso, and that was too weird. So I decided just to do it this way, to put an actual pair of jeans on the table. And of course, when you do this, you will be wearing a pair of pants or slacks, and you will be doing it that way. It's very important for me to say that. You really won't be laying your pants on the table like this. So I'm just doing this to make it much clearer for you as to what what we're doing here. So you will need a pair of pants, as you can see. Let me take one of the markers out here. I have 10 markers and a basket. And you will need to have pants with pockets deep enough where the markers, of course, will disappear so your child can't see them. And you will need a basket where you can keep the markers you're not using and keep that in a place where your child can't look in there also, because as we said previously, that just confuses the issue. All right, I'm going to keep the markers off camera here. And I'm going to jump right to this stage. You could put markers in a few at a time into one pocket, but I'm going to skip that and just put 10 in a pocket. You don't have to. You can work your way up just like we did previously in this lesson. I'm going to put all 10 in this pocket here. All right. And of course, make sure they don't show. And so let's say you've gotten to the point where all 10 are in one pocket. And now, remember with the mystery box, we took counters out. Now we're going to be moving counters to another location, and your child is going to have to keep all that information straight in his or her head. So let's do this. Remind your child, yes, there are 10 markers in here, and you could even offer to take them out and count them, but she'll probably believe you. So you can say, okay, watch what I'm going to do. And of course, make your movements very clear and distinct. And now you will say, just like you did with the mystery box, well, how many markers are left in this pocket? And if she is very good at counting back or subtracting, she will say 8. And you will say, great, let's keep going. So remind her again, 8 in this pocket, 2 in this pocket, and tell her you're about to move some more. And if she doesn't believe you, of course, you can always take them out and count them. And you may have forgotten, so you may need to take them out and count them. But we know there's 8 here and 2 here. So here we go. Aha! As you can see, this is going to be a little more difficult than the mystery box. So now you say, well, you could start either way. So now how many do we have left in this pocket? And I'm going to have to check because I've already forgotten. And hopefully he will say 4 if he's really been paying attention. And then you could say, well, okay, we know that we have 4 in this pocket. So then how many are in this pocket? And he may come upon that information in a couple of different ways, but the easiest way to do it is, and you can help him out with this, you could say, well, remember we have 10 all together and they're all in these 2 pockets. So if there's 4 in this pocket, then how many are there in this pocket? So as you can see now, there will be no more counting back. He will definitely have to use his subtraction skills to figure that out. And you could keep going back and forth between pockets. So you could remind him again, and maybe remind yourself if you've forgotten. There's 4 in this pocket, 6 in this pocket, and of course you can always take them out and count to prove that. And maybe you want to start going back this way. So here we go. Oh my gosh, you see how this becomes very challenging? And now you could ask him, well, either side, but I think maybe this side will be good. Well, how many are in this pocket now? And hopefully he'll say 3, and let me check to be sure. Yes, there's 3 in there. And you can say, well, if there's 3 in this pocket, and we started out with 10, then how many should there be in this pocket? And if if she's good, really knows her subtraction facts, knows her subtraction, she will know that there are 7 in this pocket. So as you can see with pocket problems, we up the ante a little bit. Memory now comes into play, and definitely good addition and subtraction skills. And you may do this lesson with your child, and you might say, well, it was easy for him. Well, here's something you can do to really turn it into a super, super challenge. And that is to, if you have back pockets, add the back pockets. As you can see, I do on my jeans here. So now you have 4 locations for the markers. And if that's still not a challenge, go up to 20 on the markers. So as you can see, you could approach pocket problems at any level your child may be, from simple to much, much, much more challenging, where he or she is actually trying to keep track of 4 different locations for up to 20 markers. And will many kids be able to do that? No, but yours might. So it's worth a try, and I hope yours can. So, but start out with 10 and 2 pockets. That's a good way to go. And this was very popular when I used this in my kindergarten class. I used to use it while after I took my kids to art class, and the art teacher wasn't quite ready, so I'd do a few of these with them while she was setting up, and my kids loved doing this. Great, great challenge for them. And that's pocket problems.